Well, good morning. Can everybody hear me all right? Okay, great. I'm Sean Parker with SiFi Networks. I want to thank you all for being here this morning. I want to thank the mayor for being here. I want to thank Barb Bratton and her team for allowing us here in the space, and obviously the partnership is an amazing one. We'll talk about that here in a moment. I want to thank United Way for being here, one of our great supporters, also the YMCA. I want to thank you all for being here, and any of our partners that make this day a reality and the Fiber City a reality. Today, we are here to celebrate the launch of our digital inclusion program, which is to educate, enable, and excite. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. But before we do, I think it's important to talk about the Fiber City, the Kenosha Fiber City, which is a unique and wonderful network that is going to bridge the digital divide here in Kenosha. It is a citywide build, as many of you know. So it's going to give everybody the ability to connect to day one, a 10 gigabit network, symmetrical gigabit network, day one. So it allows everybody to have the opportunity to connect to a next generation type network, which is tremendously exciting. The other piece of it that is substantial is with the Fiber City, it also creates a platform that allows for all the future Internet of Things to come, right? Any cool technology, anything that's being thought up to today, tomorrow, long in the future, this network is going to be able to support. And with that, it also supports some great programs, one of which is our Fiber City Aid program. The other, the one that we're launching today, the Digital Inclusion Program, it helps to support those efforts as well. And it's all about, for us in this Digital Inclusion Program, it's all about educating, enabling, and exciting the community. Educating through programs, enabling through the donation of technologies. Today we have the digital curiosity stations that are right there beside the mayor and Barb Bratton, which are fantastic. And then exciting the community, getting the word of mouth out. We have to do that through our groups, right? Like the United Way and the YMCA, some great pillars of the community that really help to expand and to help this network get off the ground. Because this, at the end of the day, is a partnership all the way from the beginning to the end. When we came in here to break ground, however many months ago it was, to the day that we turning up services, which is next month on this network, it's all about that partnership. It's all about all of us coming together, uniting, understanding that this is paramount for the future of the community, and that is tremendously exciting. So the Digital Inclusion Program, as I mentioned before, it's about educating, enabling, and exciting. This is a tailor-made solution. So we had to work with Barb Bratton's team, and I want to thank them so much because they were instrumental in getting this day to happen. They helped shape it. We tried to figure it out, and Barb would go back and forth with me and Sean, how about this, how about that? And eventually we figured out what kind of worked for everybody. And we're so thankful for your time and your dedication in figuring that out, Barb. Mayor, I want to thank you and your wonderful staff for helping us make this network a reality as well. It's just been fantastic all the way around. We can't thank you enough. You guys are aces in our book. So with that, I want to introduce the mayor to come on up here, maybe say a few words, and then we'll introduce Barb Bratton to come on up here and say a few words on behalf of the Kenosha Library System. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely, sir.
What daring people we have here today. A politician with an open mic and as long as I want it. Well, first off, congratulations on getting everything kicked off and Fiber City moving forward as fast as it is. I'm excited for a bunch of different reasons. One is we are literally in a situation where we are creating in the city of Kenosha an opportunity for everyone to have access. And I don't think people realize how important that is. You can look around the country and there are only a handful of places that are able to right now say that within another year, I'm going to push on that, another year we're going to have access to the whole city. Darn close anyway. But that's going to be one of the things that goes on here. We literally are in a situation as a community that our young people are going to have access to educational tools, that we're going to have opportunities in libraries, museums, schools, access that in most places they're not going to have in a year. And we're going to have it, and we're going to have it now because of the partnership that we have. And I think that is so very, very important. The programs that are going to be spawned off of this are going to be tremendous for us on an educational level, also on an employment level. We are going to be a key. This is going to be a key to our community's growth and prospering. And so from my perspective, I want to first off say thank you for the partnership. As I said, we're going to be one of the first. Secondly, to Barb and her staff for the wonderful job that they've done to implement this technology right away into the new reading library and the rest of the libraries also. So all those things are very, very important, and congratulations to you and your staff for the hard work that you've done. But I don't want to ever underestimate the power that this creates for people in our community to be able to grow and prosper and have access to the internet in a way that will be a tremendous opportunity for everyone. So thank you all for being here today. And as a good politician knows, it's time to stage left. So take care.
And with that, Barb Bratton, Director of the Kenosha Public Library.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the Kenosha Public Library. Digital inclusion and digital divide, these are not new terms to public libraries. I remember as a young librarian in 1993 when the World Wide Web was launched. It was more of a hobby at that point. It was an interest, but it wasn't a necessity. At that time, there was scientific information and government information, and it was wonderful for public librarians who could find all kinds of good stuff to answer all kinds of business questions and scientific questions. But for the general public, it was just an interest, a nuance. Now it is a necessity, and we found that out after 30 years of helping people get used to technology and giving them access to it. And introducing the new technologies to them, we found out during the pandemic just how important it was to them. That was the way that they could apply for unemployment benefits. That was the way that they could get social service benefits. This was a lifeline for someone who needed to work from home, the children who needed to tie in remotely to school. And when the public library needed to be closed, there was no access. So we realized just how important we are. So today, I thank you, SiFi, not only for this donation of equipment for our new children's library in the Uptown neighborhood, but I want to thank you for the nod toward the public library as such an important partner in digital inclusion. So one thing that hasn't been said is that we do have this equipment from SiFi, but they've also provided some support in the coming years to continue our digital inclusion training of the public, which is very important. AI is the new thing now, and a lot of people are scared about that. So we are going to intensify our AI training and help the public acclimate to all the technologies that come down the pike. So thank you, SiFi. Thank you, Mayor, for coming today, and have a great day.
So with that, I'm here to answer any kind of questions that there might be from the media or anyone for that matter. I'm happy to do so now, or I can leave this set up here and talk to you anywhere you'd like to be. But I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Can you talk about how these stations work?
Well, yeah, that might be a better question for.
We have our crack team of technology here who's going to demonstrate basically what the child or parent or whoever is going to use this is
Could
going to
we move
scan
up to
their
the-
library card.
Move up to microphones and talk?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have well, that's local media. Yeah, maybe. Sorry, Barb.
So with Rob here, this is Rob Nunez. He is our data and IT manager. What he's going to demonstrate is a basic thing, just kind of like a self-check, is you can either type in your library card number or you can scan, see where the red is. You can scan your library card, and then it will check out a laptop to you. It'll come out the top, and you can use it for a set period of time. Ta-da.
Yeah. So checkout time is 4 hours. It's preloaded with a series of apps that have been vetted by library staff to ensure patron privacy and security. And based on the library card that's it's using to check it out, if it's a child's card versus a parent or guardian card, gives a little bit more flexibility. So I've actually just used one of our generic children's cards that we use for testing to go in and check it out. You can see that it's preloaded with a few apps already on here. And if I had used a parent or guardian card, I would have had the option to be able to select for a different profile type with a different app set as well. So parent guardian also includes some information on being able to help get connected so that we can help also provide more information on affordable internet options and bridging that digital divide in a different way there.
So why if we would just have a box of these laptops sitting at the front desk for checkout? Well, obviously, this system does a lot more than something like that. It sounds like it's a convenient way to distribute the tablets.
Yeah, I mean, we're all used to self-service now, aren't we? Yeah.
Speak at the mic there. Yes, thank you. So the benefit with the tablets is ease of use. Children are utilizing tablets more often in schools, and that's the preferred method of technical interface now. But yes, these are full self-service. You don't require a staff member to actually go pull the tablet from a holding system and be able to check it out. But then also when it is returned, you have the machine automatically removes any personal information on the system. So there is also that privacy and security aspect as well.
And what's your name again?
Rob Nunez. I am the manager of IT and data for the library.
And how long can these tablets be checked out?
For 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yes.
So they're not leaving the premises.
No.
They can go on and listen to it.
Rob, what are some of the apps that are downloaded on there?
So for children, we have things such as Khan Academy Kids, 1, 2, 3 number counting, learning letters, numbers, different phonics, introductory to reading, encouraging reading type apps, along with some STEAM STEM programs, since that's also going to be part of the focus for the new children's library. For the parents and guardians, like I already mentioned, there's the information on how to get connected to help bridge that digital divide, but then there's also some of the other apps that we already have, such as Libby is preloaded so the parent guardian can log in to be able to read an ebook or view a magazine while they are with their child at the library. Along with lynda.com or LinkedIn Learning, as it has been renamed. I'm still utilizing the old name there. And also other library apps, such as also the official KPL library app, so they can view their checkouts, do renewals, search the catalog as well.
Will both of these units be at the new children's library, or?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna, we'll have them here for now. We'll put them out for the public right away, but then they'll find a permanent home at the Children's Library when we open in the spring.
I was just saying, what is the status of the children's library?
Our target is still the end of March, barring any kind of back-ordered equipment. You know how that works with construction. But if everything runs smoothly, we should be open by the end of March.
What's the status of the fundraising?
We're doing well. We're in the middle of talking to corporations, so we have a lot of appointments set up. We have a few gifts already, but we're working. Yeah.
What's the target goal dollar-wise?
$3 million.
$3 million.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say where you're at or not really? Not yet.
I think next week would be a better time to say where we're at. We're on the cusp of some exciting news.
You'll have an announcement next week?
You bet. I hope so, yes.
So I guess my question would just be, because obviously libraries typically offer sort of just desktop computers and everything. How would this experience for a family or for a child be different from having access to a computer?
Our new space is just over 7,000 square feet. If you have lots of banks of computers, it takes up room for other things that we could use that for. This kind of setup means you can take this computer and then land anywhere you want. If you want to sit at a table, if you want to sit in a soft seating, if a child wants to sit on the floor. And that's very comfortable for children. So this is this takes up less space, and it's just lets the user relax the way they feel more comfortable. Mm-hmm.
On another topic, did I miss, has there been a formal announcement about T-Mobile Fiber being the residential internet service provider?
I don't know about a formal one, but that is the provider that will be servicing the residential customers of Kenosha.
Can you talk a little bit about that? What they're going to be actually providing?
Yeah, there are various plans and such that I'm not. You'll have to visit their website for that sort of thing when they go live for all the various plans and such that they'll be able to offer the residents. But they will be the official provider at first on the Fiber City.
Do you expect more residential providers?
We do in time.
Okay. I thought that T-Mobile was cellular based.
Historically, that is correct. This is their first fiber to the home offering. First.
Okay. Have they started marketing to homes?
They have done a bit of that. I'm not sure to the extent. That would have to be probably a T-Mobile question for them.
So we should probably get a hold of them.
I would think so, yeah. But they have begun some, but to what extent, I'm not sure.
Now, I think you said that part of the system will go live next month. Can you elaborate on that?
That just means that services will be available for the residents of Kenosha to start connecting to the internet on the Fiber City.
How many homes would you think?
I don't have that information readily available, but it'll be quite a few. And then that'll only become more and more every week, every month as the system continues to go live.
So are those homeowners being notified that they have this option?
They are.
So there is some marketing.
There is some marketing through T-Mobile and their efforts, yeah. That is correct.
Can you talk about which parts of the city are going to go live?
So I'd have to get back to you on that specific information on exactly what parts.
But what percent of the city is wired right now, would you think?
Currently, we're at right around 30% of the city is wired. Now, they won't be able to receive, all those won't be able to receive services right away. Just as a network turns live, you have to have a lot of technology in the field. And so you systematically roll that out. So just because we've built out a good bit of the community doesn't mean that everybody can go live day one, right, from that standpoint. But they will be in due time.
So when will the system be completed?
In 2025, we will be fully completed with the project.
We see construction crews out all the time
Yes.
digging and doing work. What exactly is going on there? What are they doing?
Well, they're doing micro trenching. That's how we primarily deploy a network, which is a minimally invasive process where they just are able to do about 1.5 miles a day of build. And usually, once you've built it, you can't see it, but for a few days afterwards, right? We're doing it in a softscape. So once they come and once they trench that, then they put over the final sediment there that goes over the sod and such, and by the time they're done, usually you have no idea that they're even there ultimately. So, but it goes down about 1 foot, and they're able to do about 1.5 miles a day. Those crews, and that's very critical to build quickly and efficiently and effectively.
Do you know where they're at right now?
I don't have those details, but I can get those for you. Yeah. There's multiple crews throughout the community, so they're doing different parts. We build out from our huts, and then, so it encompasses the entirety of the community, but we start building out from the huts. But there's multiple crews that are doing that construction.
So I'm kind of wondering what the incentive is for a homeowner or a tenant to sign up with T-Mobile before we know who else is going to be giving them pitches?
Sure. Well, I mean, first of all, you have a fiber city, right? So they're getting the fastest, most reliable speeds day one. I know that's been thrown around a lot by other companies and such, but this is actually the case, right? It's fiber optics. Fiber to the home is the gold standard when it comes to connectivity. So it's all the reason in the world to connect to that type of a reliable, fast network, right? Now, as other groups come on, then that will become competitive. But the beauty of the SiFi Fiber City is that, if somebody wants to jump to another provider at some point down the road when there's competition on the network, they can simply just call up or click a button on the internet and switch services. Should be just that simple.
So T-Mobile isn't asking for any kind of long-term contracts, you think?
That's their personal choice as a company and how they want to operate in the community.
Is there any sort of layman term way to explain the difference, I guess, between what somebody might be having now versus having fiber optic cables or fiber city?
In layman's terms, that's a good question. Let's see here. Well, everybody has their cell phones today, right? Everybody gets dropped calls. Everybody has spotty coverage at times, right? When they're roaming or such, right? The goal here is when you come into your home or your business, and once you connect to that Wi-Fi that's there in your house, right, you won't have that spottiness. You won't have those moments where your network isn't working, right? Everybody thinks these cell phones are fantastic, and they are, but they're enabled by the fiber optic network that is below our feet and putting out the signals in the air, right? So unless you have fiber optics, you're not going very fast, right? So it is paramount in the telecommunications space to have fiber optics, and to be able to take fiber to the home is the most advantageous for the community. It's the most expensive offering out there. It's a very expensive network that we're building, right? So that's not to be dismissed. And so that's usually the thing that prohibits fiber to the home, right? You hear about middle mile projects, you hear about a lot of different projects, but that's not fiber to the home. Fiber to the home is the most expensive offering to date, and to be able to do this and to build this network privately without any taxpayer dollars is substantial, right? So this is a purely privately funded network by SiFi Networks.
Can you talk cost? What will this cost, like a monthly fee? Is it comparable to what we pay now for Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't get into that specifically, but it's a very competitively priced network, and you're getting the top-notch internet service that you would dream of.
Mr. Parker, what would you say is the difference between the bandwidth that homes are receiving now and the bandwidth they'll be receiving with fiber?
Well, it's a good question.
Or how many programs and apps can we run simultaneously in one home?
Well, that's the game, right? Now we all are connecting. We have families. Some of us are, working from home. Some of us, we got kids that have got to do homework. We got gamers. We've got people who are streaming everything, and that bandwidth necessity is only going up. The capacity to have more and more devices connected is only going up. So older infrastructure can't support all those. At some point, it will hit an end, right? They won't be able to support that. The fiber optics is fantastic because it's really endless in its bandwidth today. There is no end in sight. We can basically turn up whatever speeds that we need to by switching out a line card somewhere. If that, in 10 years, if we need to go to a terabit speed or something like that, we can just switch it out with a line card. There's no forklifting of any major equipment or anything of that nature. It's sustained by the fact that you built the network correctly. You built a platform for whatever you need down the road. So the major part of the construction of this network is just that, the construction of the network. It's the laying of the fiber. the technology in the end you can always switch out fairly easily. That will support all the needs down the road. So whatever is great coming down the road, we'll be able to support it. So for generations.
Can you talk a little bit more about closing the digital equity? We are so grateful for the library who is key in closing that gap, but how is this going to further help close that gap?
Well, the network is a citywide network, right? It's going everywhere. Unlike today, where you have most of the community, it's where an ISP is getting their best ROI, right? They go to that area and they build out that area, right? We build it out entirely, and that's how we're funded. It's how that's all organized. But we go everywhere, right? So that's the first step, is giving people the ability to connect, right? Having that access, and then we have these programs like our digital inclusion program, right? We also have our Fiber City Aid program. Those all address the digital divide in a different way to help get people connected, to help give people the education, to help give them the tools that they need to move forward.
With all of this micro-trenching, I see what the city's doing for fiber installation in the infrastructure. How do we get it to our homes? Is that part of the process, or how does the client make that happen?
Yeah, so our agreement with the city is we can only microtrench in the right of way, right? So when a resident wants service, they need to call the Fiber City, or they call their ISP in this particular case, and they will alert the Fiber City. And what we'll do is we'll end up then doing a soft dig trench from the curb to their home, and then putting an ONT onto the house, and then they're ready to go to receive services right then and there. And so that's all it would require, is clicking a button or calling on the phone to get that last little connection from the curb to the home.
Any plans to expand to Summers, Pleasant Prairie, or Bristol?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Plans to expand to some of the neighboring communities?
Right now, it's just the Kenosha Fiber City, but we're always looking to grow and to bridge that digital divide where we can, where it makes sense. Obviously, we're a privately financed group, so it's got to make business sense too. But if we can make it all work, we certainly want to look at those opportunities and see if we can expand off the back of this. Well, very good. Well, thank you all so much for coming out. It's been a pleasure. Thank you again, Barb. Thank you again, Mayor. There you are back there. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure, and we're excited about this network. And again, thank you to United Way and YMCA for being here as well. Some key partners of ours. We're excited about this partnership. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out.